A very good morning to all my dear students. So as I told you, I am here with a new chapter, that is coal and petroleum. Okay? So let's begin this new chapter. So when I say coal and petroleum, what comes to your mind, children? What are they actually? They are nothing but fuels, what we say. So these are the natural resources which can be used as fuels. In today's class, I will be explaining you about what is fuel, what is a fuel, what is an ideal fuel, and does an ideal fuel really exist. So how can we say that a particular fuel is very efficient or very ideal, the best? So what are the various measures and what are the various methods actually to measure the efficiency of the fuel? So let's begin with what are fuels, children. So a fuel is any substance that can be burnt to produce energy. So fuels are the substances which are burnt to produce heat energy. So they should be producing more heat energy and less of harmful gases. So these substances which liberate large amount of heat or energy in the form of mainly heat, they are called as fuels, children. So best examples of fuel, you can see fuels again can be of three types: solid fuels, liquid fuels, and gaseous fuels. Can you give examples of solid fuel? Can you give some examples of liquid fuels? And can you give some examples for gaseous fuels? Please do collect some info about the solid fuels and the liquid and gaseous fuels also. Okay, that's your work. Now, like I said, that they liberate a lot of heat energy when they are burnt. So that burning also should be steady. It should not be very rapid, like an explosion. It should not be like an explosion, and it should not be a slow process also. It should be moderate, and moderately, it should not take much time or very less time to burn and produce energy. So those all we'll be discussing when we'll be discussing about the characteristics of ideal fuel, children. So there is one more classification of fuels. Fuel can be directly taken as it is. They are found in the nature and they can be used, like for example wood. You can just take the wood and just burn it to produce heat energy. That we can do. So are we doing anything to the wood? We are not doing it. We are not processing the wood. We are simply taking the wood and burning. So natural, so such fuels, nothing but wood, we are using it in its natural state. So they are called as natural fuels. But there are some fuels which we get from the naturally existing fuels. For example, petroleum, or for example coal. So coal can be directly used, or it can be processed to get a better version of coal, like coke. What is it called? Coke. So that coke also serves as a very good fuel. So those fuels which are derived from the natural fuels are called as derived fuels. So fuels are of two types. What are they? Natural fuels or primary fuels. And what is the other one? You can say natural fuels, or they are also called as primary fuels. And what is the other one? Derived fuels, or they are also called as the secondary fuels. This is just an extra information that you have to know about, children. Okay? Now coming to what is an ideal fuel. So here I'll give you a small example. What is an ideal fuel? So what are the characteristics that one expects from a fuel? As teachers, what do we expect from students? So what are the characteristics of an ideal student? Can you give some examples and can you give some characteristic features? Characteristics of an ideal student? Yeah, the student should be behaved, he should be obedient, he should listen to the instructions, able to grasp the things which we teach, and he should do his works properly, he should study well, and the list goes on, right? In the similar manner, what do we expect from a good fuel? What are the characteristics of a good fuel? Now can you just think of what should be the characteristics, children? Why are we using fuels for? We are using fuels to produce energy, right? So one of the main characteristic feature of the fuel should be it should liberate lot of energy. That is the main characteristic feature of an ideal fuel. should give out large amounts of heat. It should liberate large amounts of heat. That's the first characteristic feature. Then it should be easily available, it should be handy. That means it should not be like very heavy things, which makes it inconvenient to use them. It should be easily available to each and everyone. Should it be expensive? No, it should be cheaply available. Nothing but very cheap it should be, so that everyone can use it. And transportation should be easier. See, just imagine transporting tons and tons of wood. When compared to gas cylinders, it is much comparatively it is much easier to transport these CNGs or petrol or diesel when compared to wood, isn't it? So the transportation should be easier and safe, and it should liberate more amount of heat. And should it be eco-friendly or not? Yes, it should be eco-friendly. It should not harm the environment. It should not release any toxic gases, more amount of toxic gases, and it should completely be used up. See, imagine taking wood or any other fuel, half of it burns and half of it remains like that. Should we choose such a fuel? No. So we have to choose such a fuel which burns completely. There should not be any residue left. So that should be the one of the main criteria for selecting fuel, right? So all these characteristics are the characteristics of an ideal fuel, children. But do you think an ideal fuel exists really, children? Do you think a perfect and ideal student really exists? We are all humans, we make mistakes and we are not perfect, right? Same is the case with the students also. Students also, we cannot find anyone who is 100% perfect. Some of the other flaws he might have. In the similar manner, we cannot find an ideal fuel. It's just imaginary. But some can come to that level or threshold. What is that? They can come closer to the ideal fuel characteristics. So here in the similar manner, students also, they can try their best to become an ideal student. In the similar manner, that is the reason why we say that an ideal fuel doesn't really exist, but there are some fuels which are very close to the ideal fuel. Okay. How do you measure efficiency? Now I told you that they should be really, like, ideal fuel means they should have at least more number of characteristics in them, in that fuel, such that they become an ideal fuel. Okay. So how do you measure the fuel efficiency? Now we say that how do we measure the students' efficiency? By conducting tests, isn't it? We conduct examinations, we give some assignments for them to do. If they are doing, we know that this particular student is really doing his or her best, isn't it? So in that manner, we come to know about how well a fuel is, how good a fuel is by measuring its fuel efficiency. So what is that method? So the fuel efficiency can be measured by way of calorific value. Now what is this calorific value? One of the main functions or why do we use fuel? To get energy, isn't it? To obtain some energy out of it. So calorific value determines how much of heat is liberated when some amount of fuel is taken. So calorific value is nothing but the amount of heat liberated per kg of fuel. So its formula is amount of heat liberated by total amount of fuel. So its units are kilojoules per kilograms. So joule. So amount of heat is measured in terms of joules, no children? So how much of fuel? It is measured in terms of kilograms. So ultimately we will get the amount of heat liberated per unit mass of the fuel used. So this way we will be able to know how good a particular fuel is. So the more the calorific value, the better is the fuel. Okay. So we have to select such a fuel which gives more value of this calorific value. Okay, more of this calorific value. So hope you understood what are fuels, children. Those substances which produce heat upon burning, and they should not. What are the various characteristics of ideal fuel also I told you. I purposely did not write on the board because I want you to write down what all I explained about in today's class about fuels in your science homework. That is the task for today. Okay, please do write down the definition of fuel. Just listen to my video again and write down the definition of fuel, definition of ideal fuel, and this one. How are you going to measure the efficiency? What is calorific value? Please jot down these points. Okay.